Stores is on top of it. They said that they will be closing. If the SNAP benefits are not released on November the 1st, you won't be able to go inside of some of the stores. The store that my son works at, you cannot go inside. It's only online ordering or delivery. Other than that, you're not getting an opportunity for the general public to come in there and try to steal from these stores. They covering themselves. Whatever you're going to do, get your groceries and go in the house, and don't go back out to these stores until this stuff blows over. It's official. The stores is on top of it. They said that they will be closing if the SNAP benefits are not released on November the 1st.
Shalom, shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Harakakbadash. Double honors to the old apostles, great millstone, who rule and teach well, and honors and salutations to the men of the Lord doing the same, teaching the same. All right. Don't have a title for the lesson, because I'm gonna be talking on different topics and subjects. All right. But I do want to say my spiritual opinion. I don't think the government is going to, federal government is going to reopen. All right. And you got experts talking about it. You got these different podcasts talking about it. And, it wouldn't benefit them to reopen anyway. They're prolonging something that's inevitable. The Bible already talks about the New World Order. Okay? So Esau, the so-called white man, speaking to the elites, that is, that run this world. All right, their New World Order, their agenda is already prophesied in the Bible for them to fulfill. Okay, but the Lord is not going to allow them to put the mark of the beast, the RFID chip, their Neuralink, into the elect. All right, so the Lord is going to shorten the times for the elect's sake, and the Lord is going to come back with a host of the angels. Okay? After the mark of the beast is made mandatory and it's punishable by death if you don't take the mark of the beast, hey, not soon after that, our deliverance is going to be very soon. And if you're watching the news, Yahweh Shah and the archangels and the thousands and thousands of angels, all right, they're getting ready to invade and take over the earth. All right, but first, to destroy infrastructures. That's what the chariots, the so-called UFOs, are going to be doing. They're going to be zapping, shooting people with lasers, and killing, millions. All right, billions of people. And not only that, delivering the elect chosen of the Israelites, okay, before the nuclear destruction comes, okay? So our salvation is very, very near, okay? You got the archangels, Michael, Uriel, Gabriel, Raphael, all right, and so on and so on. They getting ready. Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. They gathering the angels, all right, receiving protocol and orders from Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah, okay, that chain of command. So the Lord and the angels is getting ready to invade the earth, okay. So that alone lets you know we don't have that much time in this captivity. The Lord is going to bring down the powers that be, okay. And that's what that war in heaven is all about. The war in heaven is, when the Lord and the angels fight against, Esau, the so-called white man, and his military. All right. And all the nations of the earth, their military is going to try to fight against the so-called UFOs, but they're going to lose. All right. So all of this is biblical prophecy, but only the hopefully elect can see it. All right. So this is Jeremiah 49 and 31. All right, Jeremiah 49 and 31. Arise, get you up into the wealthy nation that dwelleth without care, saith the Lord Yahweh, which have neither gates nor bars, which dwell alone. All right, and that wealthy nation in these last days is Babylon the Great America. Okay, but this place is being Babylon the Great America is being jumped and ganged up on by these other countries. Okay, and that's biblical prophecy. Revelation 17, all right, Revelation 18, so on and so on. Okay, so it's prophesied that these other countries are going to abandon, all right, Babylon the Great America, and basically kick her out the circle, kick her out the group. Okay, and turn on her, and ultimately shoot their nuclear missiles on this place. Okay, so that's what that's how World War III, all right, Armageddon, that's how it's going to go. All right. All right. And it says, which have neither gates nor bars, which dwell alone. That's right. And America doesn't have a wall or barrier or nothing to really keep people from coming in except for water. Water. All right. And they've been letting millions of people in on purpose. Okay, this is all agenda. They're going to purposely crash this system, and that's what the my spiritual opinion. That's what the taking away the government benefits and assistance. That's what it's all about. They're crashing this system. All right, this is going to bring chaos, and they're going to come back with the order. But when they come back with the order, you're going to have to take the mark of the beast. All right, that's why you got the 15-minute cities, everything digital, and you best believe the military, they're going to be guarding certain places, certain communities in America, to keep them, nice and neat. So when they do, basically bring back order and stability to society, like on some purge shit, that, everybody's going to have to take the mark of the beast, okay? And they're going to call themselves saving the day and bringing back structure and order, all right? So all of this is biblical prophecy, okay? So they're going to use famine. They're going to use famine, to make you people bow down to the New World Order and to take the mark of the beast, okay? This they've been working on this for decades. All right, they've been working on this New World Order, one world government agenda for decades. Okay. All right. It says Jeremiah 49 and 32, and their camels shall be a booty, and the multitude of their cattle a spoil, and I will scatter into all winds them that are in the uttermost corners, and I will bring their calamity from all sides thereof, saith the Lord. And you see that, all type of calamities, evils, okay, bad news, disasters are hidden. It's hidden Babylon the Great America, left, right, up, down. This place can't take a break because the Lord is fighting against Babylon the Great America. So the Lord is sending all type of plagues and disasters and judgment on this place. That's why every time you wake up, something bad happens. Okay? The Lord is judging Babylon the Great America. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, if you don't repent, and serve, in truth and sincerity, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whose name is Yahweh, have faith in his only begotten Son, the Messiah, Yahweh Shah. All right. If you don't have faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah, and keep his ways to the best of your ability, all right, the law, statutes, commandments, all right, the precepts, and live according to them, hey, because that shows obedience. So if you're not doing what the Lord say do, that means you're not obedient and you're not none of his. Okay? So if you're not serving the Lord in these last days, he's not going to save you. All right? You can keep believing what Christianity tell you. You can just say you got faith and don't know shit. It's written in another place in the Apocrypha. You can type it up. It says, God loveth none but he that dwelleth with wisdom. Okay? And then it's written in another place, the Lord said, be not ignorant in anything. All right? So the Lord revealed 100% truth. All right? He revealed his secrets, all right, to his servants. Okay? So that shows you Christianity is a false doctrine and a false religion. Okay? Because they're completely ignorant. Christians don't know nothing. All right? That's why it's pointless in debating them. They're literally just going to ignore whatever you say, and they're going to chant, the stuff they hear in the Christian church. Deep down, them Christians know, within themselves, they know they don't know shit about the Bible. Okay? That's why they get so, they get out of control. They get very emotional when it comes to, reading out of the Bible. And, we declaring, the ways of the Lord unto them. Okay? Because a lot of people is finding out, that the Lord is very strict. Okay? You don't just get to do whatever the fuck you want. The Lord is very strict, all right? If you're not keeping the ways of the Lord, or Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah, okay, the Lord is not going to take care of you and protect you in these apocalyptic times. Okay? So Christians are going to find out the hard way. They never had the true name of the Lord. Okay? They never was correctly serving the Lord. And they're going to be looking crazy in the next coming months. All right? So this Deuteronomy 32:20. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be. For they are a very froward generation, children in whom is no faith. Okay? So the Lord is going to purposely not help 2/3 of his people. Okay? And people in the world, people in the earth, they're going to notice. All right? You're going to notice certain blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, who the Lord is going to be taking care of. That's the elect chosen. All right? But the rest of them, they're going to be in destitute. All right? They're going to be in ruin. Okay? They're going to be in pitiful case. All right? They're going to be in dire straits. Okay? So people are going to notice who the Lord is actually with and who the Lord is not with in these last days. Okay? And I guaranteed you, 99% of Christians are going to take the mark of the beast. They're going to take the mark of the beast. Okay? They're going to. 99%. Only reason I say 100 is because you're going to have Christians that believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. All right? They're going to repent at the last minute, and they're going to recognize, like, hey, man, those Hebrew Israelites are telling the truth. And they're going to get right, okay? At the last minute, of course, but at 12th hour, But it's an old saying, better late than sorry, okay? So, let's get it. I'm gonna end it on this precept too. So this is Ezekiel 12 and 27. Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say the vision that he seeth is for many days to come, and he prophesieth of the times that are far off. Therefore say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, there shall none of my words be prolonged any more, but the word which I have spoken shall be done, saith the Lord Yahweh. Right. And it's a beautiful thing, because now we see everything, all the prophecies and visions in the Bible is actually happening. So that lets us know the Lord is coming back very, very soon. So the Lord is no longer prolonging, all right, these prophecies. The Lord is bringing them to pass, and he's about to save his elect, and the Lord willing them of that number. Want to end it and give all praises to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Harakakadash. Double honors to the old apostles, great millstone, who rule and teach well, and honors and salutations to the men of the Lord doing the same, teaching the same.